In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, humanity had long been considered an insignificant species by the galactic community. The Zarkonian Empire, a technologically advanced alien civilization, had observed Earth from afar for centuries, dismissing humans as primitive beings barely worth noting in their extensive catalogs of sentient life forms. Commander Xelthra, a seasoned Zarkonian scientist, stood before the High Council, her iridescent scales shimmering under the chamber's ethereal light. Esteemed members of the Council, she began, her voice resonating with a mix of excitement and trepidation. We have made a startling discovery regarding the humans of Earth. The Council members, each a towering figure of authority within the Empire, leaned forward in anticipation. High Counselor Vexmore, his elongated head adorned with bioluminescent patterns, spoke. Proceed, Commander. What have you uncovered about these primitives? Xelthra activated a holographic display, revealing a detailed 3D model of a human. For eons, we have dismissed humans as weak, fragile creatures. Their short lifespans, susceptibility to disease, and lack of natural defenses led us to believe they posed no threat or value to our empire. However, recent scans have revealed something extraordinary. The hologram zoomed in on various parts of the human anatomy, highlighting systems and structures that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. Humans possess a unique genetic makeup that allows for rapid adaptation and evolution. Their neural networks are far more complex than we initially thought, capable of processing information and solving problems at rates that rival our most advanced AI systems. Murmurs of disbelief rippled through the council chamber. Vexmore's eyes narrowed. Are you suggesting these humans are more advanced than our initial assessments indicated? Not exactly, High Counselor, Xelthra replied. But they have potential, incredible potential. Our scans show that humans are utilizing only a fraction of their brain capacity, yet they've achieved remarkable technological progress in a relatively short span of time. If they were to unlock their full potential, they could pose a threat to the Empire. Another council member interjected, his voice laced with concern. Xelthra nodded solemnly. Or they could become our greatest allies. The human capacity for creativity and innovation is unparalleled. They think in ways we cannot fathom, find solutions where we see only obstacles. Their adaptability in the face of adversity is admirable. The council chamber fell silent as the implications of this revelation sank in. For millennia, the Zarkonian Empire had expanded unchallenged across the galaxy, assimilating or subjugating lesser species. But now, faced with the potential of humanity, they found themselves at a crossroads. High Counselor Vexmore broke the silence. Commander Xelthra, your findings are most disturbing. We cannot ignore the potential threat or opportunity that humanity represents. What course of action do you propose? Xelthra took a deep breath, knowing her next words could shape the fate of two civilizations. I propose a covert mission to Earth. We must observe humans up close, study their behavior, and assess their true capabilities. Only then can we decide whether to extend an offer of alliance or prepare for inevitable conflict. The council members exchanged glances, a mix of curiosity and apprehension evident in their alien features. Vexmore nodded slowly. Very well, Commander. Assemble a team for this mission. You will lead the expedition to Earth. Observe, but do not interfere. We must know the full extent of human potential before we reveal ourselves. As Xelthra bowed and prepared to leave, she couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. For the first time in centuries, the Zarkonian Empire faced an unknown variable. Humanity, once dismissed as weak and insignificant, now held the key to the galaxy's future. Little did the Zarkonians know, their decision to study humanity up close would set in motion a chain of events that would challenge everything they thought they knew about the universe and their place in it. As Xelthra's ship prepared for its journey to Earth, the fate of two civilizations hung in the balance, with the true strength of humanity yet to be revealed. As Commander Xelthra's stealth ship entered Earth's atmosphere, the team of Zarkonian scientists buzzed with anticipation. They had spent months preparing for this mission, studying human languages, cultures, and behaviors. Now, as they descended towards a nondescript town in the American Midwest, the reality of their task set in. "Remember," Selthra addressed her team, her voice firm but tinged with excitement, "we are here to observe and gather data. Our camouflage technology will allow us to blend in, but we must be cautious. Any direct interference could compromise the mission and alter the natural course of human development." The ship touched down silently in a secluded forest clearing. As the team disembarked, their bodies shimmered and transformed, taking on human appearances. Zelthra, now resembling a tall, dark-haired woman in her 30s, led the way towards the nearby town of Millbrook. Their first encounter with humans came sooner than expected. As they approached the town's outskirts, they stumbled upon a group of children playing in a makeshift fort. The Zarkonians watched in fascination as the young humans engaged in complex role-playing scenarios, their imaginations transforming cardboard boxes and sticks into elaborate castles and mighty weapons. "Fascinating," whispered Zorlak, Selthra's second-in-command. "Their ability to create entire worlds from nothing. It's remarkable." Zelthra nodded, her eyes fixed on a young girl who appeared to be leading the group. "Look at how they organize themselves, adapting their roles as the game evolves. This level of social cooperation and imaginative problem-solving, it's far beyond what we anticipated." As they continued into town, the Zarkonians were bombarded with sensory input. The smell of food from local diners, the sound of music drifting from open windows, the sight of humans going about their daily lives. It was overwhelming and exhilarating. Their observations led them to the town's high school, where they witnessed a science fair in progress. Students proudly displayed projects ranging from simple chemical reactions to complex robotics and environmental studies. One project, in particular, caught Selthra's attention. A teenage boy named Alex stood before a display titled "Harnessing Microbial Fuel Cells for Sustainable Energy." As he excitedly explained his work to the judges, Selthra and her team listened in awe. "The potential applications of this technology are immense," Alex enthused. "Imagine powering entire cities with the bacteria found in wastewater. We could solve both our energy crisis and waste management issues in one fell swoop." Zorlak leaned close to Selthra, his voice a hushed whisper. "Commander, this boy's project, it's utilizing principles that our own scientists have only recently begun to explore. How is this possible?" Zelthra shook her head in amazement. "It's their creativity, Zorlak. They're not bound by the same constraints we are. Where we see limitations, they see possibilities. It's humbling." As the day progressed, the Zarkonians continued their observations, each encounter revealing new facets of human potential. They watched as a group of teenagers used social media to organize a local cleanup drive, marveling at their ability to mobilize and effect change so quickly. They observed an elderly man teaching chess to young children, noting the intergenerational transfer of strategic thinking and patience. But it was their visit to the local hospital that truly shook the Zarkonians' understanding of human capability. They witnessed doctors and nurses working tirelessly, using a combination of advanced technology and intuitive care to heal the sick and injured. In the research wing, they observed scientists collaborating on cutting-edge gene therapies and nanotechnology applications. Their medical science is advancing at an exponential rate, Selthra noted, her voice filled with a mix of admiration and concern. At this pace, they could surpass our own capabilities within a few generations. As night fell, the team regrouped in their hidden ship to discuss their findings. The mood was somber, each member grappling with the implications of what they had witnessed. "Commander," Zorlak began, his voice hesitant, "I believe we may have gravely underestimated the humans. Their potential. It's unlike anything we've encountered before. If they continue to advance at this rate, they could become a dominant force in the galaxy within a century." Selthra nodded slowly, her mind racing with possibilities. "We've only scratched the surface, Zorlak. We need more time, more data. But one thing is clear. We can no longer dismiss humans as weak or insignificant. They possess a strength we never accounted for. The power of unbounded imagination and relentless determination. As the Zarkonians settled in for another day of observation, none of them could shake the feeling that they were witnessing the birth of a galactic superpower. The humans, blissfully unaware of their alien observers, continued to innovate, create, and push the boundaries of their potential. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance, with humanity unwittingly holding the key to its future. As days turned into weeks, Commander Zelthra and her team delved deeper into their study of humanity. Their initial awe at human potential had given way to a complex mix of admiration, fear, and ethical dilemma. The more they observed, the more they realized that humanity's strength lay not just in their adaptability and creativity, but in their incredible diversity of thought and experience. One particularly enlightening encounter occurred at a local community center. The Zarkonians, still disguised as humans, attended a town hall meeting where citizens debated the pros and cons of a new renewable energy project. The passionate discourse, ranging from economic concerns to environmental impacts, fascinated the alien observers. "Look at how they challenge each other's ideas," Zorlak whispered to Zelthra. "This level of open debate would be unthinkable in our society." Zelthra nodded, her eyes fixed on the diverse group of humans. "It's chaotic, yes, but there's a strange beauty to it. Through this conflict of ideas, they refine their plans and consider angles we might never have thought of." As the meeting progressed, a young woman named Sarah stood up to speak. "I understand the concerns about the project's cost," she said, her voice clear and confident. "But we need to think beyond immediate economic gains. This renewable energy plant could become a model for communities worldwide. We have a chance to lead by example, to show that sustainable development is not just possible, but profitable in the long run." The Zarkonians watched in amazement as Sarah's words swayed the crowd. Her ability to articulate a vision and inspire others was a power they hadn't fully appreciated before. Later that week, the team's observations took them to a bustling tech startup incubator. Here, they witnessed the rapid pace of human innovation firsthand. Teams of young entrepreneurs worked tirelessly on projects ranging from AI-driven healthcare solutions to revolutionary recycling technologies. One startup, in particular, caught their attention. Two young engineers, Raj and Emily, were developing a neural interface that could potentially allow direct brain-to-computer communication. As the Zarkonians eavesdropped on their conversation, they were struck by the implications of such technology. "If they succeed," Zelthra murmured, her voice tense, "humans could advance their cognitive capabilities exponentially. The gap between our species could close far more quickly than we anticipated." The weight of their discoveries was beginning to take its toll on the Zarkonian team. Each day brought new revelations about human potential, and with them, new concerns about the future balance of power in the galaxy. As they gathered in their hidden ship for another debriefing, the mood was somber. Vexlera, the team's cultural specialist, spoke up first. "Commander, I believe we're facing an unprecedented situation. The humans' rate of advancement, combined with their resourcefulness and determination, makes them unlike any species we've encountered." Zorlak nodded in agreement. "Their technology may still be primitive compared to ours, but their rate of progress is astounding. Given a few more decades, they could pose a serious challenge to our dominance." Zelthra listened to her team's concerns, her mind racing with the implications of their mission. The Zarkonian Empire had always relied on its technological superiority to maintain control. But humans, with their unique blend of creativity, adaptability, and relentless drive, represented a new kind of threat, or perhaps a new kind of opportunity. "We need to consider all possibilities," Zelthra said finally. "Yes, humans could become a formidable enemy if they perceive us as a threat, but they could also become powerful allies. Their unique perspectives and problem-solving abilities could complement our own strengths." The team fell silent, contemplating this radical idea. For millennia, the Zarkonian Empire had seen other species as either subjects to be ruled or threats to be neutralized. The notion of a true partnership with another species was foreign, almost heretical. As the debate continued into the night, none of the Zarkonians noticed the small drone hovering just outside their ship's cloaking field. Back in a secret government facility, a team of human scientists watched their monitors with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the lead xenobiologist, turned to her colleague with wide eyes. "Do you realize what this means, John? We're not alone, and they've been watching us." John nodded, his face pale. "The question is, what do we do with this information? And more importantly, what will they do now that we know about them?" As both species teetered on the brink of a monumental first contact, the future of galactic relations hung in the balance. The humans, with their newfound knowledge of alien observers, and the Zarkonians, with their evolving understanding of human potential, were about to embark on a journey that would redefine their place in the universe. The revelation that humans had detected their presence sent shockwaves through the Zarkonian team. Commander Zelthra paced the confined space of their cloaked ship, her mind racing with the implications of this unexpected turn of events. How could this happen? Zorlak demanded, his human disguise flickering with agitation. "Our cloaking technology is supposed to be impenetrable." Zelthra held up a hand, silencing her second-in-command. "It seems we've underestimated the humans yet again. Their resourcefulness knows no bounds." She turned to face her team, her expression grave. "We need to decide our next move carefully. The fate of two civilizations may depend on it." Meanwhile, in the depths of a secure human facility, Dr. Elena Rodriguez and her team worked feverishly to analyze the data from their drone. The grainy footage of alien beings discussing humanity's potential had sent ripples of excitement and fear through the highest levels of government. "We need to establish contact," Elena argued passionately to the assembled group of military officials and scientists. "This could be our chance to advance human knowledge by centuries." General Marcus Blackwood, a stern-faced man with years of combat experience, shook his head. "It's too risky. We don't know their intentions. For all we know, this could be the prelude to an invasion." As debates raged on both sides, fate intervened in an unexpected way. In the quiet town of Millbrook, a chance encounter was about to change everything. Sarah, the young woman who had spoken so passionately at the town hall meeting, was working late in her small environmental consulting office. As she stepped out for a breath of fresh air, she noticed a strange shimmer in the air near the edge of the nearby forest. Curiosity overcame caution, and Sarah approached. Just as she reached out to touch the anomaly, the air seemed to ripple, and she found herself face to face with a startled Zelthra, whose camouflage had momentarily failed. For a breathless moment, human and alien stared at each other in shock. Then, displaying the adaptability that had so impressed the Zarkonians, Sarah spoke. I know you're not from here, but I'm not afraid. Can we talk?" Zelthra, caught off guard by the human's calm demeanor, made a split-second decision that would alter the course of history. "Yes," she replied, her voice filled with a mix of trepidation and hope. "I believe it's time we did." As Sarah and Zelthra began a tentative conversation, neither was aware of the far-reaching consequences their dialogue would have. In the shadows, Zorlak watched with growing alarm, torn between his loyalty to the mission and his fear of exposure. Back at the government facility, alarms blared as sensors detected the alien energy signature. "We've got a contact," John shouted, his fingers flying over the keyboard. "Sending coordinates now." General Blackwood immediately sprang into action. "I want a team on site 5 minutes ago. Contain the situation at all costs." As military vehicles rumbled towards Millbrook, Elena made a desperate plea. "General, please, let me go with them. We need a scientific perspective, not just a military one. This could be our one chance at peaceful first contact." Reluctantly, the general agreed, and Elena found herself in a race against time, hoping to reach the site before conflict could erupt. In the forest clearing, Sarah listened with rapt attention as Selthra explained the purpose of their mission. The humans' quick understanding and insightful questions both impressed and unsettled the Zarkonian commander. "So you came here thinking we were weak," Sarah mused, a hint of amusement in her voice. "And now you're not sure what to think of us." Zelthra nodded, her human disguise now fully dropped. "Your species has surprised us at every turn. Your potential is both exciting and frightening." As their conversation deepened, touching on topics of technology, culture, and the future of interspecies relations, both Sarah and Selthra felt a growing sense of hope. Perhaps, they thought, this could be the beginning of a new era of cooperation and mutual understanding. But their hopeful dialogue was about to be interrupted. The sound of approaching vehicles shattered the quiet of the night. Xelthra's team, alerted by Zorlak, emerged from hiding, their postures defensive. Sarah stood up, placing herself between the approaching humans and the aliens. "Wait," she called out to the vehicles. "There's no need for conflict. We can talk this out." As floodlights illuminated the clearing, revealing the assembled Zarkonians to the stunned human military team, Elena pushed her way to the front. Her eyes met Selthra's, and in that moment, both scientist and alien commander recognized a kindred spirit, someone driven by curiosity and the hope for peaceful coexistence. The next few moments would determine the course of human-Zarkonian relations. Would cooler heads prevail, or would fear and misunderstanding lead to conflict? As tensions mounted in the forest clearing, the fate of two civilizations hung in the balance, with the resilience and wisdom of both species about to be put to the ultimate test. The forest clearing crackled with tension as humans and Zarkonians faced each other, neither side sure of how to proceed. General Blackwood's voice cut through the night air, sharp and authoritative. "Step away from the aliens, miss. We'll take it from here." Sarah stood her ground, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "With all due respect, sir, I don't think that's the best course of action. We have a chance here for peaceful communication." Elena, seizing the moment, stepped forward. "General, please, let's not rush into anything we might regret. We're scientists. Let's approach this scientifically." Xelthra, impressed by the humans' attempts at de-escalation, made a decision. Slowly, she raised her hands in a universal gesture of peace. "We mean you no harm," she said, her voice clear and calm. "We came to learn, not to conquer." The general's eyes narrowed, his hand hovering near his sidearm. "And why should we believe you?" It was Zorlak who answered, surprising even his own team. "Because if we wanted to conquer you, we would have done so long ago." He stepped forward, his alien features fully visible in the floodlights. "The truth is, your species has impressed us. We've seen your potential, your resilience. We've come to believe that there might be more to gain from cooperation than conquest." A tense silence followed his words. Then, from the back of the human group, a young soldier spoke up. "Sir, if I may, isn't this why we joined the space program? To make contact with other life forms. To learn and grow." General Blackwood hesitated, years of military training warring with the unprecedented situation before him. Finally, he nodded slowly. "Dr. Rodriguez, you're up." But at the first sign of hostility, Elena didn't wait for him to finish. She approached the Zarkonians, her eyes alight with curiosity and excitement. "I'm Dr. Elena Rodriguez, xenobiologist. On behalf of humanity, I welcome you to Earth." What followed was a scene that would have been unimaginable just hours before. Humans and Zarkonians, scientists and soldiers, began to engage in cautious but earnest dialogue. Elena and Selthra led the conversation, each asking and answering questions about their respective species and civilizations. As the night wore on, the initial tension began to dissipate, replaced by a growing sense of wonder and possibility. The humans were fascinated by the advanced technology of the Zarkonians, while the aliens found themselves continually surprised by the innovative thinking and adaptability of their human counterparts. Sarah, still processing the enormity of the situation, found herself in conversation with Zorlak. "You know," she said thoughtfully, "in our fiction, we've imagined this moment 1,000 different ways, but I don't think anyone quite predicted this." Zorlak tilted his head, curious. "Your fiction? You mean you've imagined meeting beings like us before?" Sarah laughed softly. "Oh, we've done more than imagine it. We've written books, made movies, created entire universes in our minds where humans and aliens interact. Sometimes as friends, sometimes as foes, but always pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible." This revelation seemed to stun Zorlak. "You mean, you've been preparing for this moment, in your own way, all along?" As dawn began to break, casting a surreal light over the gathering, General Blackwood approached Xelthra. His posture was still guarded, but there was a new respect in his eyes. "Commander," he said, the word feeling strange on his tongue, "I think it's time we took this conversation somewhere more official. Would you and your team be willing to come with us to a secure facility? You have my word that you'll be treated as honored guests, not prisoners." Xelthra considered for a moment, then nodded. "We would be honored, General, but I have a condition of my own." She gestured to Sarah and Alina. "These two come with us. They've shown the best of what humanity has to offer: curiosity, courage, and the ability to bridge gaps between different beings. I think they'll be crucial in the discussions to come." As the unlikely group prepared to depart, a sense of cautious optimism filled the air. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with potential pitfalls and challenges. Centuries of Zarkonian expansion and human isolation would not be easily overcome. Trust would need to be built, cultural differences navigated, and the balance of power carefully managed. Yet, as they looked at each other, humans and Zarkonians, soldiers and scientists, the suspicious and the hopeful, there was a shared feeling that they stood on the brink of something monumental. The galaxy, vast and full of wonders, suddenly seemed a little less lonely, a little more full of possibility. As the vehicles pulled away from the clearing, Sarah caught Xelthra's eye. "You know," she said with a small smile, "for a species that thought we were weak, you're taking quite a leap of faith here." Xelthra's response was thoughtful. "Perhaps that's the greatest strength we've discovered in humans, your ability to inspire faith in the seemingly impossible." As they drove towards an uncertain but potentially brilliant future, both humans and Zarkonians realized that the true test of their species' strength was just beginning. The challenge now was not one of conquest or resistance, but of understanding, cooperation, and mutual growth. In facing this challenge together, they might just reshape the future of the galaxy. The days following the historic first contact were a whirlwind of activity. As news of the alien presence spread, the world reacted with a mixture of fear, excitement, and skepticism. Governments scrambled to form unified responses, religious leaders grappled with the theological implications, and social media exploded with theories and speculation. In a heavily guarded facility, human and Zarkonian representatives worked tirelessly to lay the groundwork for peaceful coexistence. The team that had been present at first contact, including Alina, Sarah, Xelthra, and Zorlak, found themselves at the center of these delicate negotiations. "The key," Alina explained during one particularly tense session, "is to focus on our complementary strengths. We may be behind the Zarkonians technologically, but our adaptability and innovative thinking could be invaluable to them." Xelthra nodded in agreement. "Indeed, in our centuries of space exploration, we've never encountered a species quite like humans. Your potential for growth is unprecedented." But not everyone was convinced. Some human leaders feared that opening up to alien influence would lead to the erosion of human culture and independence. Similarly, certain factions within the Zarkonian Empire viewed any collaboration with a lesser species as a sign of weakness. As they worked to bridge these divides, an unexpected challenge arose. Dr. Alex Patel, the teenage prodigy whose microbial fuel cell project had so impressed the Zarkonians, made a startling announcement. He had managed to reverse engineer aspects of Zarkonian technology from the limited data available, and was on the verge of a breakthrough that could rapidly advance human capabilities. The news sent shockwaves through both human and Zarkonian communities. Some saw it as proof of humanity's ingenuity and readiness for advanced knowledge. Others, including many Zarkonians, viewed it with alarm, fearing that humans might advance too quickly and destabilize the galactic balance of power. In a private meeting, Zorlak expressed his concerns to Selthra. "Commander, this changes everything. If humans can adapt our technology so quickly, who knows what they might be capable of in a few years? They could become a threat to the entire empire." Zelfrey considered his words carefully. "Or," she replied, "they could become our greatest allies. Think about it, Zorlak. Their ability to look at problems from new angles, to make intuitive leaps that our more structured thinking doesn't allow, combined with our resources and experience, we could achieve things neither of our species could alone." Meanwhile, Sarah found herself in a heated debate with General Blackwood. "We can't suppress this knowledge," she argued passionately. "It goes against everything we stand for: progress, discovery, the pursuit of knowledge." The general's face was grim. "And what if that knowledge leads to our destruction? We're talking about power beyond anything we've ever dealt with." "Which is exactly why we need to embrace it," Elena interjected, entering the room. "The genie's out of the bottle, General. We can either learn to control it, or let it control us." As debates raged on Earth and across the stars, a new challenge emerged. A radical faction of Zarkonians, fearful of human potential, launched a covert operation to sabotage Earth's budding technological advancements. At the same time, a group of human extremists, convinced that the aliens were planning to subjugate humanity, prepared to launch attacks on Zarkonian visitors. The fragile peace hung by a thread. It was in this moment of crisis that the true strength of both species would be tested. In a bold move, Selthra and Elena proposed a joint human-Zarkonian task force. This team would combine the best minds from both species, working together to tackle galactic-scale problems while fostering mutual understanding and trust. "It's a risk," Selthra admitted to the Zarkonian High Council, her holographic form flickering slightly. "But one I believe we must take. The humans have shown us that strength comes in many forms. By working together, we can become stronger than we ever could alone." On Earth, Sarah stood before the United Nations, her voice clear and determined. "We stand at a crossroads. We can choose fear, or we can choose hope. We can cling to our isolation, or we can reach for the stars. The Zarkonians came here thinking we were weak. Let's show them, and ourselves, just how strong we can be when we embrace the unknown and work together." As the world held its breath, waiting to see if cooperation would triumph over conflict, both humans and Zarkonians found themselves reevaluating what it truly meant to be strong. Was it the ability to dominate others, or was it the courage to extend a hand in friendship, even in the face of uncertainty? The answer to this question would not only determine the fate of human-Zarkonian relations, but could potentially reshape the future of the entire galaxy. As the joint task force prepared for its first mission, the universe watched and waited, wondering what marvels, or horrors, this unprecedented alliance might unleash. 5 years had passed since the fateful night in Millbrook when humans and Zarkonians first came face to face. The joint task force, initially met with skepticism and fear, had become a beacon of hope and progress throughout the galaxy. On a space station orbiting Earth, now a symbol of interspecies cooperation, Commander Xelthra stood before a diverse audience of humans and Zarkonians. The occasion was the unveiling of a groundbreaking project that promised to revolutionize space travel and exploration. "Friends, colleagues, fellow seekers of knowledge," Xelthra began, her voice filled with emotion. 5 years ago, we came to Earth believing we were observing a primitive species. We could not have been more wrong. Today, we stand together on the brink of a discovery that will change the course of galactic history. She gestured to the team behind her, a mix of human and Zarkonian scientists, including Alina, Sarah, and Zorlak. This team has achieved what neither of our species could have done alone. By combining Zarkonian antimatter technology with human theoretical physics, we have created the first viable prototype for instantaneous interstellar travel. A holographic display activated, showing a sleek ship unlike anything seen before. The FSV Horizon, Alina explained, stepping forward. Faster than light, capable of crossing the galaxy in mere hours. But more than that, it's a testament to what we can achieve when we embrace our differences and work together. The audience erupted in applause, but Selthra raised a hand for silence. However, our journey has not been without challenges. We've faced opposition, misunderstanding, and fear on both sides. There are still those who believe that strength lies in domination rather than cooperation. As if on cue, alarms began to blare throughout the station. Zorlak rushed to a console, his face grim. "Commander, we're detecting multiple ships approaching. It's the Zarkonian Purist Fleet. They're demanding we hand over all human-influenced technology and cease cooperation immediately." Simultaneously, reports flooded in from Earth. A radical human faction had launched attacks on Zarkonian embassies, calling for the expulsion of all aliens from the planet. For a moment, panic threatened to overtake the assembled crowd. But then, something remarkable happened. Humans and Zarkonians alike began to form mixed groups, offering comfort and support to one another. In the face of threat, they didn't divide, they united. Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady. "This is the moment we've prepared for. We knew there would be those who feared change, who couldn't see the strength in our unity. Now we show them what we can do together." General Blackwood, now a staunch supporter of the Alliance, nodded grimly. "We've got ships ready to defend the station, but I hope it doesn't come to that." Zelthra looked at the faces around her, human and Zarkonian, all showing determination and resolve. She made a decision. "No, we won't fight them. We'll show them." In a bold move, Zelthra ordered the FSV Horizon to be launched immediately. As the Purist Fleet approached and tensions on Earth escalated, the revolutionary ship took flight. With a mixed crew of humans and Zarkonians, including Zelthra, Alina, and Sarah, the Horizon activated its new drive. In a flash of light that was seen across the solar system, the ship vanished, only to reappear moments later at the edge of the Zarkonian home system, thousands of light-years away. The feat was broadcast across both human and Zarkonian networks, stunning viewers with its implications. The Horizon then made a series of jumps, appearing at key locations throughout the galaxy. At each stop, the crew transmitted a message of unity and progress, showcasing the incredible achievements of human-Zarkonian cooperation. As the galaxy watched in awe, the opposition began to crumble. The Purist Fleet stood down, their leaders realizing that they were witnessing the dawn of a new era. On Earth, the attacks ceased as humanity grasped the incredible future that lay before them. Returning to the station, the crew of the Horizon was met with thunderous applause. Zelthra addressed the assembled crowd once more, her voice filled with hope and determination. "Today, we have shown the galaxy what true strength looks like," she declared. "It is not the ability to conquer or dominate. It is the courage to reach out, to learn, to grow together. Humans taught us this. Their creativity, their adaptability, their indomitable spirit. These are the qualities that will propel us all towards a brighter future." Sarah stepped forward, standing shoulder to shoulder with Zelthra. "And the Zarkonians taught us that strength also lies in wisdom, in the knowledge gained through centuries of exploration. Together, there are no limits to what we can achieve." As the celebrations continued, Alina found herself looking out at the stars. Zorlak joined her, his expression thoughtful. "You know," he said, I once feared that humans would upset the balance of the galaxy. Now I realize that you were exactly what the galaxy needed to find a new balance. Elena smiled. And you were what we needed to reach our full potential. I guess we all had a lot to learn about what it means to be truly strong. As news of the Horizon's journey spread throughout the galaxy, other species began to reach out, eager to join this new age of cooperation and discovery. The universe, vast and full of wonders, was entering the new era, one shaped by the unexpected alliance between a species once thought weak and those who had learned the true nature of strength. In the end, it wasn't advanced technology or military might that changed the course of galactic history. It was understanding, empathy, and the willingness to see strength in diversity. As humans and Zarkonians looked to the future together, they knew that their greatest adventures were just beginning.